It is Saturday, February 17th, and just a couple days ago, OpenAI released another technology called Sora, which is text to video. And because OpenAI is behind this, you know they've got a lot of resources, they have a lot of momentum with ChatGPT and text to image. Text to video is the next frontier, if you want to call it that we're gonna be looking at. And I'm gonna give you a creator's perspective, a video creator. I produce stock footage, which are B-roll video clips. It could be drone video clips of Thailand, Japan, Vancouver, that other creators or anyone or any company that creates videos can make use of. Now we've seen some text to video platforms that actually use stock footage to generate videos. So you can give it a script, you can give it a tone and accents, and it'll fill in the video background to your video using stock images. So they've done that because it's easier to generate the video, but now with the ability of OpenAI Sora to produce this video, the landscape starts to change. So we're gonna look at that, and let's get going. So we're looking at OpenAI/Sora. So Sora is the name of their new AI model that can create video from text. So I think Sora is actually a Japanese term. It means sky in Japanese. So we've already seen some videos on the internet come out looking at these images, and we'll do that. I've also got Sam Altman's Twitter, and I'm going to show you some of my stock footage and give you my take as a creator. So let's just take a look at some of these images here. So when you go to their page, you can see they've got capabilities, safety research. And let's take a look at this first video here. Yeah, it looks really realistic. This bird is moving its head, it looks really high res. Yeah, it looks pretty real. Let me know what you think. Let's go over to another one. And we can see the prompt here. Photorealistic close-up video, two pirate ships battling each other as they sail inside a cup of coffee. Yeah, slow motion. I see there's that last bit where the boat's floating and it looks a little bit fake, but otherwise, yeah, this is pretty sophisticated stuff. Okay, this one I saw on Marcus Lee Brown's YouTube channel. This is young man sitting on a cloud reading a book. Okay, so now I can see that watermark in the bottom right. And I think that watermark is going to be important to protect, to provide some protection, so that if you're seeing a video on the internet, you know this was AI produced. I think that's yeah, watermarking is one form of protection, but people, if they know how to video edit, they can always crop it out. But it is some form of protection. Okay, this one, gorgeously rendered papercraft world of coral reef with colorful fish and sea creatures. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a Pixar movie type animation. So animators, graphic designers, especially, yeah, animators may be thinking, oh, is this going to replace my job? It's definitely a valid concern. Let's go over to the next one. This is definitely Pixar material. You can see the shadows, the texture. All right. Yeah, 3D art style. Okay, now this is the type of stuff that I do. Of landscape drone videos when I go travel. For example, Bali, Thailand. I've done this type of stuff, and this looks really realistic. It's got really good movement. It looks high res. The lighting looks good. Yeah, like it looks a little bit too smooth, but it does, you know, if I didn't tell you this was AI, it would be hard for you to tell that it is. Okay, what's this? A movie trailer featuring adventures of a 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet. Blue sky, salt desert, cinematic style, shot on 35mm film. Very specific. So this is scary good, and it does look like a movie trailer. It's got all the different angles. It's got that cinematic movement, the look. Like if you look at that face, yeah, that looks pretty real. Okay. This one I've seen around the internet. Giant woolly mammoths approaching through a snowy meadow. Okay, this is slow-mo. I think these are prehistoric creatures, right? They don't even exist, so something you probably see out of National Geographic. Looks really good. This one's also been circulating around the internet. Yeah, really high res. This is a Asian girl walking in Tokyo. So, I mean, this looks really realistic. The movement, the camera movement on a gimbal or some type of support. She's looking around, and you can see the people in the background are not as clear. If you look there, this close up definitely looks real. If you look at the texture on her skin. So I'm going to show you some stock footage. So this is the stuff that I've produced over the over 10 years. Some of this is pretty old, so maybe a little cringeworthy. This is one of my most popular drone videos I've shot in Asia. And this is a 15-second clip that's sold on Pond 5. So some of these stock agencies like Shutterstock, I believe they have made agreements with some AI companies to, and I think Adobe has used their own language model to train on Adobe stock. I think they've made steps to compensate creators. I think I've seen a little bit of revenue from that. Maybe they haven't trained on my footage, but it's not clear. I'm not exactly clear where OpenAI has trained their videos, because you can't just just use images to create these videos. I think it needs actual videos to train on to create these generative AI videos. This shot in Angkor Wat. So you can see my style of video here. It's got a different type of movement. It's got a bit of a dated look. And I think this would be a bit harder to recreate. It would be hard to describe this type of style. It's like something like this. Young Thai people at a trendy cafe. So, you've got kind of random human movement like this. I think this would be a little bit harder to replicate for AI. And I've had some experience using text to image, and I would ask for something a little bit more newer term like pickleball, and it had trouble generating images of pickleball, probably because there hasn't been a lot of stock images available to train on stuff like that. So I think the niche style content would take some time for these for something like Sora to reproduce. But if it's sort of like a very general scene, I think drone videos are quite easy to replicate once you've got the data. But like complex scenes where there's a lot of people, unpredictable movement, might be a little bit harder to replicate. But it's pretty good, I'll tell you. So here's a scene. This is a crowd. This might be harder to replicate. You see that some guys stumbling there. You got the crowd smiling. And there's a lot of people here, right? I'm not sure if the AI would be able to reproduce a crowd in detail with, so many people doing so many different facial expressions. Let's go to Sam Altman's. Sam Altman, he's the owner of OpenAI. And I think he's created some additional videos here. So here is Bling Zoo. So we got some animals here. It's kind of a strange video, but it looks pretty realistic. Yeah, normally it would be really hard to get this type of scene out of a turtle. Okay, so right now, the limit of these videos, it's a minute. I think it's a minute long. So definitely stock footage is within the crosshairs. It is competition for stock footage creators. So my personal concerns are that although this tool can't completely replace all the videos that we create and license, it is definitely going to produce some of those clips. For example, those drone clips that businesses, if they can offer those at a more cost-effective price point, then why would they want to pay $15 to $100 US to generate that clip? There's also companies like Storage Blocks. They sell subscriptions to stock footage, and their business model would be threatened as well. So there's a lot of from creators to businesses. These are stakeholders that these are industries that could be disrupted. I wouldn't say completely eliminated, but they're definitely under threat of this type of technology. And does that mean that revenue that was going to creators on these platforms is now going to be going to companies like OpenAI? And is OpenAI going to be somehow compensating the people it's taking this money away from? I can understand these concerns because I'm definitely impacted. Other stakeholders are the animators, right? They've taken many years of training to learn how to do these skills, and with AI, being trained on previous creators' work, now being able to reproduce it quickly, that could be a job eliminator as well. Being able to create Pixar type films, what is gonna happen there? And we saw things like watermarking, being able to provide some form of protection, knowing that this came from OpenAI. The ball's definitely in OpenAI's court. They could white label it, meaning that they could pay OpenAI some type of fee to remove the watermark, so you wouldn't know that it's AI generated. These are complex questions. So on the safety front, OpenAI has a spotlight on them, to use this technology responsibly. So right now there's some guardrails where you can't produce these images that of celebrities or produce their likeness, especially with the election going on. If you're able to produce these videos that look like Joe Biden or Donald Trump, right? And you spread them on the internet. That's not a great thing. So they speak to that on their website, so you can take a look at that. But yeah, this is definitely scary good. I've been waiting to see, a first go from a platform that could reproduce some real good text to video, and it looks like OpenAI is really the first. Yeah, so that's my take on Sora, the new text to video technology from OpenAI. Just came out really recently. Let me know what you think. Does it inspire you? Does it create fear in you? Is this ultimately going to help the world, or is it just going to make it a little bit more confusing? I'd like to hear your thoughts. See you later.